In our part 2 video, we are going to talk about skills development approach. In our part 1, we talked about your learning approach is to get that first job, and we have went in detail. So please watch this first part in module learning goals in IT fundamentals part 1. And now let's go back to our drawing board right here, where we are going to talk about skills development and not getting the first IT job. Now, of course, skills development can be used by anybody who's taking these courses, but there are different type of members that join JSS. Now, let me talk about the members that are going to be focusing on this a lot. Is going to be the people who basically land a job in scenario number 1, where you finish A+ certification and you have a very good resume, you did great in the interview and you landed the job. Now with A+, you have the theoretical knowledge, book knowledge, and some practical knowledge that you did in home labs, but maybe you're lacking a lot of Active Directory, Office 365, and then deep level skills, like you want to learn something more, deployments or MD100, MD101, which goes beyond just basics. They touch a lot of server deployment too, like where you have to configure WDS and other things as well, even getting into more imaging and working with MDT and other things that you're going to come across in companies that are using it pretty heavily. So this type of individual is always then looking into learning skills, because that's the first thing. They landed the job, they're happy where they're working, or they have something in their mind that, look, I'm going to work here for 6 months and I'm going to learn something from this company and then move on to more advanced level jobs. And for advanced level, this is where people will look for much more deeper skills development than just getting a job. That's not your goal anymore. So in skills development, if let's say you are a member who are in that position where you got a job quickly, but you want to develop skills, you're still going to approach your learning step by step. You cannot jump into advanced courses if you haven't done the fundamentals, skills fundamental. A lot of people get confused with our fundamental. They think that the fundamental is something that is theory, or I have done my A+, so do I need to do this fundamental? Our fundamental is a skills fundamental. It goes beyond just theory, and because it's a lot of it is hands-on. Like the first sections are a lot of talking and what we are talking right now, and very important stuff that prepares you. But then from module 1 to all the way to module 30, this is all fundamentals, and it's all hands-on. And after this, things gets a little more advanced, and after that, things gets even more advanced. So people use this approach to go from level 1 jobs to level 2, or even go beyond that. So what my thinking for that type of members is that you will be following a learning path if you want to develop your skills. Now you're not thinking about job, you don't have stress of getting the job, or you're not into that scheduling type of thing, right? You have a lot of time, you go to work, you learn something from them, and then you come back and then you continue your process in a sequence, because you are you want to develop your skills in a step-by-step format. So the course 1 is going to teach you a lot of fundamental. The course 2 is going to even go beyond that. The course 3 is basically what we call a technical course in the first 2 are fundamentals. The third one is the actual technical course that we teach in JSS. Basically, let me go into that course right now, just kind of show you what this course kind of takes you. And a lot of people want to learn this type of skills on the job, because this is kind of now going into what we do, like most like Office 365 or Active Directory in a little more deeper way. So when you start this course, I highly recommend that, again, you cannot skip any videos in JSS. If you do skip it, this means that you know this stuff, right? You may come over here as a person who have already landed a job. You may think that, look, I already know what local area networking means. I already know about OSI. These things are just generic, and I know this. So you can, yes, skip it. Now you can come to virtualization. If you know about it, great. But if you don't know about it, you need to know about virtualization, because a lot of things are set up on virtualized infrastructure, and you need to know that. You have to look at it and just kind of understand how things are moving. Then there's this real world IT training course that we have done. This is about 15 hours course right here. And when you go over this, this is where things will break down even more. Like, somebody will be breaking down things from the little top level, how servers are added, domain controller, and things like that, and get into a little bit more of understanding how things are set up. Then you're going to get into real practice. Active Directory, you're going to promote a server yourself by following this documentation, and then you're doing things hands-on with Active Directory and learning from these different type of documentation. So if you come over here, you click on joining a computer to machine to a domain, practice on users and groups, files and server resources. Then there's some tickets that we're creating for Active Directory as well. So we put a ticket in here and then made a video. Then you can go back to your sandboxes in your practice lab and you can practice over here. So this is someone who is in that position where you landed a job and now you want to enhance, or you want to go for deeper level skills. And once you finish that, then you go to course 4, which goes beyond that. Again, it's getting deeper and deeper, and that's where you're gonna learn a lot more about Windows now, because a lot of people are using Windows. And now if you come to this course, it's going to be a lot of deployments. You can see there's a lot of things going on in this migration, user migration, and then WDS, MDT. So these are the things you cannot just learn immediately. You cannot just go jump into these WDS or MDT type of things when you're brand new to IT. That's why if somebody's watching this and they're doing they want to learn skills and they think this is cool stuff, but I will never recommend you to jump to this type of courses, because you will not get anything. You will get stuck in DHCP, you will get stuck in a server level skills, and it's just going to be stress all over. So you still have to come from the fundamental approach to get to these levels. And once you finish all of this stuff, the amount of practice you will come across is someone who have spent 6 months on a job and they have done all of these things. Remember, when somebody lands a job in IT, that does not mean that they can spend 6 months and the 6 months every day they're doing something different. For a lot of people, they get a job where not a lot of access is given to them, and then they get stuck in it for a year, for 1 year, for 12 months or 6 months, and they have done very basics. So this is not that. When you spend that one from course 1 to all the way to course 6, you're no longer a person who can be categorized in that category. You are a person who knows level 1, level 2, very advanced things. And this what gives you a very good confidence that you can now jump to even advanced position in IT, where they call you a specialist or something like that, or they may give you a level 2 job with a lot more money. And because you know these things, and a lot of people don't realize that you can learn these skills and totally it is equivalent to your job experience because somebody's teaching you that way. It's all about that. It's all about how you're going to practice and learn this type of material. Back in the days, this was not possible. If you would have told the IT person that back in the days, can you get a job experience or can you get a real world experience? This was not possible. And they'll say, no, you need to really go to the work, get a job, and then, learn everything. But the problem is that we call that an old school way, because you get into a job, and if that job is not very friendly to teach you everything, then of course you're stuck in a very basic things. You're just resetting your passwords. That's not a job skills anymore. That's just you're doing repetitive work, and you're locked into this loop of learning basics, doing basics, and you never get out of it. And you're always scared of learning something new. So by joining our platform, we have changed that. We have proven that to people, that some people have actually finished our programs and they have landed a level 2 job, first job, level 2 job. Now, why is that? How is that possible? It's possible because if somebody do all these things and you go to the interview and you say, I know these things, I can prove it to you, and you also don't give them too much tension when you start your job, then of course you got that job. That's how it is in IT. You just have to look for it. So the last point that I want to make is that, let's say you know the basics, you already know this stuff, you want to move away, you want to do skills development, you join this platform, and somehow you realize that the fundamental courses that you're taking is too fundamental for you, because you are a person who spent 6 months or 1 year in IT and you have done a lot of these things, and you don't need that. You need to go more. You need to go beyond that. You need to become a sysadmin, let's say, or you need to become a network engineer. Then for that, go for the premium membership, and you have a full library of labs available right here. At this point, you're not a person who's going to sit down with a career counselor for fundamental stuff. You know what you're doing. At this point, you will look at these labs and say, you know what, I'm going to go for networking right now because this is what I need. I need to I need to move away from help desk. So you're going to come over here, you're going to go and do the Network Plus course. And in JSS, look for the course that we're developing on networking. So if you're, let's say, doing a networking course, you're going to come over here in JSS and you're going to click on Network Stack Engineer Associate Level 1, which is going to be the requirement for any advanced career in IT for JSS. We consider the part 1 to be a transition course for any advanced career. Whether you become a Cisco engineer, whether you become a cloud engineer, whether you become any engineer, it doesn't matter. Networking is going to be your core requirement. You're going to come across this. Whether you are becoming a security admin, name whatever you can in IT that is going to be the infrastructure level person or a cloud level person or IT person, you need networking. You cannot run away from it. You're going to get stuck in many high level projects if there is networking involved, which most of these projects do. So what you need to do, you need to start this course. And if you look at the curriculum of this course, if you look at the lectures right here, these are networking basics, but these are some solid basics. These are not just normal, let's just talk about, LAN WAN kind of thing. It goes beyond that. And then, of course, in JSS, the way we do things, we collaborate with one of the best platforms out there, and then we kind of utilize and work with their materials and their access and create our own things that everybody's missing from a different type of trainings. So you got the lectures over here, you get a lot of confidence from that. Then you go into, if you're a part of our program, then you go into test out a platform and you do simulated type of labs. You can join this program. If you are not joining this program, the videos are available over here. You can really utilize these lab videos to learn tickets. These are all tickets, by the way. All of these are tickets. Then you can go to the practice lab and do the practice lab over here, and then come back and watch the video if you feel like you're getting stuck. So we have created all videos on this networking course. So if you're in that category where you're not, you have spent 6 months in IT and you know the fundamentals pretty well, you don't know these, you don't really care about these basics or imaging or things like that, you want to move up to more advanced career, then Practice Lab is your solution, right, with our courses. And then you just need to pick and choose what you really want, and then attack those labs and finish it. And then after a few months, look, your skills are going to be on a different level. If you're a person who is in this situation, you just got a job by A+, doing some labs, or got lucky, or whatever it is, whatever the reason is for you to get a job, but you lack skills, then you still need to follow that learning path in JSS step by step to move on to this position where you want to then move up to sysadmin positions or networking position. And that's how you need to develop your skills. If you have any questions, please comment. I will happily reply. Thank you.